Hey, what's up everybody? Brian here with the Holy Roller, playing craps on a cruise to earn a free cruise. And today we're going to talk about how to press your bets once you're out of the hand. Let's talk about those two things. Here we go.
Welcome to the Holy Roller, where it's all about playing craps, earning free cruises, and a whole lot more. Thanks for watching. Now let's get rolling.
Well, in today's video, I have $600. I'm going to show you how to get out of the hand as soon as possible, and then how to press your bets after that. I think having a plan while you're playing craps is very important, and so let's talk about that plan right now. So with $600, you probably shouldn't use more than $60 at a time, because you want enough for 10 shooters. But for the sake of this video, and the fact that we're going to try to get out of the hand as soon as possible, I figured it would be a challenge to do $600, okay? So watch what I'm going to start with here. I'm going to start with 160. Now this would cost a $2 vig, so let me get some change for this. Because when you set up your 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10, you're going to have to pay for these up front on a Royal Caribbean cruise. So that's going to cost $2, $1 each. Okay. Now these are up. I'm going to roll it out in just a second. But the idea is that when you get a hit, any one of these inside would be $35. And these would be 50 for one, or $49. So if you have this and you are here, one hit would be $35. So let me show you. One hit would be $35. So if you take all of this down, you would have $35 to play out there. Maybe get a 5, 6, and 8 at the $10 level. That would be $34, you know, and so with one hit, you could be out of the hand, okay? Now, let's say we go for 2 hits, for example. So we just have it right here and we go for 2 hits. Worst case scenario, we have $70, okay? So if we have $70 and then we go down to 70, or we go to maybe 64 across, you know, and we could go high on the 6 and 8. The idea is getting out of the hand, meaning how many hits. I wouldn't try to do more than 2 hits, by the way. So whatever system you have, if you're trying to get more than 2 hits to get out of the hand, it's probably, you know, reaching a little bit. I'll just say that. So let's say we got 2 hits. Now we could do 1 hit and get the 5, 6, and 8. Now we have 2 hits and we can go across, okay, for 64 and still have some profit, okay? Now, the next step would be how do you press from there? So we want to get back to this level. So let's go for the 64 across, and we'll say that we're taking 2 hits and then we're going to go 64 across. Okay, now we have 64 across and we have $6 change. We're just going to put in our rack. So after 2 hits, we're playing for free and we have an extra $6 in our rack. Now, what happens? Whatever number rolls, these are going to pay 18. These are going to pay 14. So all the inside would pay 14. These would pay 18. Now again, it's important to have a plan. So do you want to press one number, or do you want to press both numbers? Okay, and that's how I would say just plan on either pressing one number or both numbers. Meaning, if a 4 hits, you could just press the 4, or if the 4 hits, you could do the 4 and 10, the 5 and 9, the 6 and 8. So whichever hits, you would do what's called the sister number. And the reason why it's called the sister number is because if there's an 8, the 6 is on the other side. So it doesn't matter what number, like a 5, a 9 is on the other side. So it doesn't matter exactly if it's hard, easy, you know, 6, 3, 9 will still have a 5 on the other side. And so the other side of the 4 is the 10, the other side of the 5 is the 9, and the other side of the 6 is the 8. And just in case you're wondering, the other side of the 7 is always a 7. So on the dice, the other side always equals 7. So if there's a 6, there's a 1. If there's a 5, there's a 2. If there's a 3, there's a 4. So it always equals 7. So what I would do on this is I would actually, let's let's do this video today where we're pressing both and how would we press both, okay? So at this level, you're gonna want, this would be 18, you would want to press 1 unit each, and then you would take 8 back to your rack, okay? And then they both look like 15, okay? And if you had 14, okay, $14 would be on the inside, and you would want to do the same thing. If a 5 or a 9 hit, press 5 and 9, 1 unit each, and bring 4 back to your rack. If it's a $14 6 or 8, then just press the 6 and 8, 1 unit each, and bring $2 back to your rack. Okay, well now what you have here is 96 across. This is at the $15 level. These pay 27 and these pay 21. So let's do the inside. If it pays 21, you can, say if it's a 5 or a 9, you could take them both to a quarter and then bring $1 back to your rack. Now you might say, hey, when am I collecting? Well, you're always collecting something. Now you might say, only $1? I'm only collecting $1. Well, you decide when you want to collect. You can collect the first 21, and then the next 21 you can press, and you might say, why not take it 1 unit? Well, I'm trying to help you to have a plan, but also be a little bit aggressive, because if you press 1 unit along the way, you need a long roll to actually make some money. Now, in this case, remember, we're already out of the hand. This is all free money, so anything you bring back to your rack would be profit, okay? So once you do 1 unit each, you might say 2 units each. In a way, that's what it is. You're doing 1 unit each, then you're doing 2 units each. Now the same thing on the 4 and 10, they'll probably pay you $27. Let me do it like this, because what you're gonna do is you're actually going to go up to 25 and 25. That would cost that $1 VIG, and you'd bring $5 back to your rack on the 4 and 10. Now on the 6 and 8, it's a little bit different because they would go up to 30 each, and when it pays 21, you would have to add in $3 from your rack and say make them both look like 30. Now we're back to where we started from, and it's all casino money, and we collected a little bit along the way. Now it might not look exactly like this because maybe the 5 and 9 hit and then the 6 and 8 hit, but the 4 and 10 never hit, so they're still at $10. But if you press them the same, they're gonna end up like this. So now let's talk about pressing at this level. Let's do the 4 and 10 first. If it's gonna hit, it's gonna be 1 for 50 or $49 payout. On this one, I'd always recommend just collecting. So you collect it, bring it back to your rack. The next one that hits, you'll do the same thing, 1 for 50, but then actually you'll want to throw in 2 more dollars so that they could both look like 50 each, because you're gonna have to pay that extra VIG on that, okay? Now let's talk about the next step for the 5 and 9. Now, some people would say on the 4 and 10, why'd you collect one and then go up to 50? Now on these ones, I would collect on the way. So all this middle, the inside numbers, if a 5 or 9 hit, it's gonna pay 35. What I would do is I'd make my 5 and 9 look like 35 each. So we're gonna take it to 35 each, and then we're gonna bring 15 back to our rack. Now these pay 50 for 1, much like these paid 50 for 1 when they were at 25 level. Now, what about the 6 and 8? The 6 and 8 pay 35, and then you're gonna say, make my 6 and 8 look like 42 each. Basically, they're gonna use this, hopefully they'll use that to do it, and then give you $11 back to your rack. So this would be like, make my 6 and 8 look like 42 each, 11 to go. So 11 to go, back to your rack, and then these look like 42 each. Now you could keep your 4 and 10 at the $25 level, and then all of these 25, 35, 42, and 42, 35, 25, these would all pay 50 for 1. And you can just be content with just collecting 50 as you go, or you could take it to the next level. So we already talked about taking these to the next level, so let's talk about taking these ones to the next level. So let's say a 5 or 9 hits, you're gonna throw in $1 for 50. And so when you throw in 1 for 50, watch this. you're gonna take these both to 50 and you're gonna bring 20 back to your rack. So see how you're collecting along the way? And now these are gonna pay $70. Now on the 6 and 8, you would say take them both to 60. Now that's gonna pay 50 for one, so they'll take one, pay you 50, and then look how this turns out, where you're actually gonna get 13 back to your rack, and then they're gonna make these look like 60, and you're gonna take 13 back to your rack. Now these each pay 70, and so instead of $1, you'd be throwing in one $5 bill or $5 check, and you'll get 75 for 5. So if you're ever at the 50, 60, 60, 50 level and it hits, throw in a nickel, and it's a nickel or 5 for 75. Of course, that's always a good place to collect as well and bring it back to the rack and then press along as you go the next time. Okay, now you are at this level, and do you want to press at this level? Here's the pressure that I would add at the 4 and 10 if you're ready to go to the next level. Have you got your dice tracker yet? Make sure to get one of these. Go to holyroller.com or check the link in the description. This is able to track not only your bankroll, but your points towards a free cruise, among other things. So make sure to grab one of these. Now let's get back to it. A 4 and 10, if they hit, is going to be $2, and it's going to pay $100. Let's pay it like this because you would actually throw in more than $2. You'd want to throw in $4 and take them both to 75 and bring 50 back to your rack. Okay, what about the inside? Each one of these, like we talked about, pays $70 or 75 for 5. But what we're gonna do is when it does hit like a 5 and 9, throw in the 5 for 75 and then say, make them both look like 75. So 75 each, 75 each. Now these pay 105 and you're bringing a quarter back to your rack. Now what about the 6 and 8? Again, if the 6 and 8 hit, you throw in a nickel and you get 75 for 5, and then you want to take these both to 90. So let's break that down just like this. This is how it would look, and you would take them both to 90, and you'd only be bringing 15 back to your rack, but you're really wanting it to hit at that. And by that time, you did collect along the way, and now these pay 105 as well. The 4 and 10 will pay $150. Some will charge $3, some will charge $4. On a Royal Caribbean ship, they would charge on a $75 buy bet, they're gonna charge $4, just so you know. They used to do $3, then $4, then $3, but now they just made it $4 every time you have a $75 bet. Now, if you're at this level and you still want to press, then I would say now's the time to actually press them by themselves. Meaning, if this pays $150 for a 4 and 10, then just take it up to $100 just on the 4 instead of the 10. Just go to $100. This would go to $100. This would go to $100. These would go to $120. But basically, let's roll this out and see what happens. Okay, we're all set back with our $600, and we're gonna go ahead and start with the 100. And well, you don't have to put it up right away. You can wait until a point's established. I'm just showing you. We're doing 160, and that's gonna be, we're gonna have to pay the VIG on the 4 and 10 just to get it going. And that's gonna be $2, so we bring $3 back to our rack. So $162 investment. All right, so the puck is off, meaning these bets are off. Let's get a roll established, and then let's see how we can press. And the main thing is you want to just be ready to know exactly what you're going to do. That's a 7, natural. Now we're assuming somebody else is the shooter, so we don't need a pass line or a don't pass. So here's a 9. The point is 9. Now our bets are on. We are on. It is working. Here we go. And it's a 3, craps 3. And it is a 5. All right, so we got a 5. Now we know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do same bet. Okay, same bet is $35, and we're just gonna take the same bet. We're going for 2 hits. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. and it is an 8. All right, we got an 8, which is another 35. So we got our 2 hits, and here's our, and then what we'd want to say, now we wouldn't want to throw this all in. What we would do is we would say to the dealer, take me to 64 across. Okay, so they're going to give you your $2 back. They'll keep $64, and they'll probably say, give me 5. They'll probably say, give me $5. Because what they'll do, and then they'll add an extra dollar when they give it back to you, because that's how they'll keep 65, and then you'll get all of this back, okay? And we're about $6 up, and we're out of the hand, so let's set this up. Here we go. All right, we're all set up. We're out of the hand, so now it doesn't matter. We do have a $6 profit after 2 hits, and all this, $64 is free. Let's go. Let's see what happens. And it's a 7 out right then and there. 7 out. That was, what was it, like 4 rolls? Short roll, but it didn't, we actually made $6. Okay, now we start over again, okay? Let's just cut to the other setup. Here we go. All right, another $162 investment for $160 across. That was a 7 out, and now we're gonna pick some more dice. We're assuming somebody else is the shooter, so we don't need to bet. I never recommend betting the pass line unless you're shooting the dice, by the way, especially on a cruise. All right, there is a 9, so the point is 9, and now our bets are on. We're looking for 2 hits, or we could do 1 hit. Let's see what we do here. How about nope? How about no hits? That is $162 down on a 0.7 out. Oh my goodness. Let's reset. All right, there's 162 out of my rack, and we got another $162 that we are setting up just like that, and it is another shooter. How about we're the shooter this time? We'll just go $10. We won't play any odds because we'll just play it out here instead. And here we go, we're the shooter, here we go. And it is a 5. So the point is 5, and now our bets are on. Here we go, let's see what happens. And it's a 6, so we got 1 hit. We got 1 hit, that pays 35. And we could say, give me a 5, 6, and 8 for $34 if we want. Or we could go for that second hit. Let's go for that second hit, here we go. And it is a 6. We got the second hit on the 6, and we're gonna say, take me to 64 across, including, okay? You wanna say the word including. 64 across, including, meaning that you want the point as well, even though you have it right here, okay? Now, you could just not get the point, but remember, we're pressing them both. We're pressing the 5 and the 9, so we want it to be like that. All right, so we're gonna get our $2 back for taking it down like this, and then they're gonna keep 60, and they're gonna say, give me a nickel, and then they're gonna give us $1 change. And so we're gonna bring 103 back to our rack, plus the 70, right, that we collected. So, all right, here we go. So let's set that up. All right, we're still going. Now we're 64 across, and the point is 5. We hit 2 6s, so maybe we could roll some more. Let's see what happens. How about a 9? All right, so we hit the 9. Now that's gonna be, remember, we want to say, they're gonna say, give me $1 because it's $14 payout, or 15 for 1. And you're gonna say, press the 5 and 9 by 1 unit each, okay? So you're gonna throw in 1. They're going to press the 5 and 9. You're gonna bring $5 back to your rack, or $4, all right? Because you did throw in 1. All right, here we go. And it's a 5 point hit, okay? So you're gonna win here, you're gonna win $10 here. So let's just put that in our rack. And then we're gonna win 21 here. Now you could collect it, remember? We could just collect, but remember, all this is free money. So anything we collect, we keep. So we could make them both look like 25, or we could just collect. Let's just collect this one, being that that was a winner, and then winner 5, and now we're coming out again. Here we go. And it's a 4, so the point is 4 this time. And so now we need to hit a 4. We're gonna leave it just like that. Here we go, we're working, and it is a 5. So we did hit the 5 this time. That's $21. Make my 5 and 9 look like a quarter each. Now remember, when I said before, they weren't going to be all together. Only the 5 and 9, well, the 6, we bring that $1 back, but the 6 did hit, but we weren't pressing at that moment. We hit when we were getting to this point. So now because the 5 or 9 are hitting, or the 5 hit, now we have some good bets. And remember, it won't happen all together, but we know what we're gonna do. And if a 5 and 9 hits, we're gonna take them both to 35 each, right? Here we go. And it's a 4, winner 4. So this pays $10 here, and it pays, and we know what we're gonna do, right? Make my 4 and 10 look like 15 each, or press my 4 and 10 by 1 unit each. We're gonna bring $8 back to our rack here, and then we're also gonna bring this $10 back to our rack. And the point is off, we're still the roller. All right, we're hitting some points here. There's a 7, so that is a winner right here on the pass line. Let's go ahead and get those out of the way now. There's a 6, so now we're on the 6. The point is 6, and now we're on here. Let's see what happens. There is a yo 11, and let's see if we can get that 5 or 9. There is a 6, winner 6, so we're gonna win $10 here, and then this one, press the 6 and 8, 1 unit each. They're gonna give us $14, and then we're gonna press the 6 and 8, 1 unit each. Now, of course, the dealer does all this stuff, and then we're gonna bring $2 back to our rack. So they'll hand us $2, okay? That was a winner, and we are hitting some points. Here we go. And it's a 7. That's a winner pass line. Let's get the 7s out when the puck is off. That's a great time, right? All right, here we go. And it's a 3. Oh, 3. This loses on 2, 3, 12. So, but we wanted enough times to be able to put it back. All right, here we go. And it's a 12, 2, 3, 12. Well, I spoke too soon. We won enough times. Now we're kind of even, I guess. All right, there we go. Hard 4. Okay, now these bets are off, but we are on the 4 again. All right, here we go. Let's get a 5 or 9. That'll bring, okay, there's a yo 11. That'll bring some money back. And here's a 4, hard 4. Wow, we're just hitting the points here. Okay, so we know that this is gonna win here. Okay, so we'll just put that in our rack. And then it's gonna be a $27 win, but I'm gonna pay it like this. Usually they would just pay it with a quarter. But either way, we're gonna say, make them both look like a quarter each. We're gonna bring $5 back to our rack. We did win 10 here, but now because we're gonna make them look like a quarter each and pay the VIG, they will turn into green chips, and they're buy bets now, so they pay a little bit better. They pay 2 to 1 minus that VIG, or that commission, or vigorish, they call it. When it's not, when it's $15 or lower, it pays $9 for every 5. So 15 pays 27. All right, we're gonna bring this back. But a buy bet pays 2 to 1 minus the VIG. So it pays better once you go up to $20. I would always go from 15 to 25, and then from 25 to 50, and then to 75, just to make it easy for the dealers. All right, that was a winner, so we're coming out. Here we go. And it's a 12, midnight. We lose the pass line. And here we go again. Back out. And 7, we got it back. There we go. Let's get those out of the way when the puck is off. There's another 12. Wow. All right, so we need to come back because we lose this one. All right, there we go. And it's a 5. So now we're out on the 5. We finally hit the 5, but when the puck was off. Okay, let's hit that 5 again, or why not? And it's a 7 out, 7 out. All right, so you could see that we lose all of this. And so you can see how we didn't press them all. Like, we pressed the 4 and 10 together, the 5 and 9 together, the 6, 8 together, but they didn't all go up at the same time. But I just kind of wanted to show you how that rolls out, and I hope you enjoyed the video. You might say, are you up or are you down? I think we're down based on, I'll show you. We're down $94. $94 down, but we did lose that 162 when we were had that 0.7 out. So we did win some money back. Even though we had a lot of money out there, we were collecting as we went. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And remember, just always have a plan of what you're gonna do when something hits. And that way, nobody's waiting for you and you're not just collecting, same betting, you know. You have to be able to press and then collect at the same time. So anyway, get out of the hand and then it doesn't matter, right? All right, hey, thanks for watching. See you next time, and I hope to see you cruising and rolling on a craps table soon. See ya.